We are live. I had to go on early today because EV Mux, I guess I've exceeded my, or will exceed my time on there. So I have to use StreamYard. Uh, I can't comment on here either. Let me just see if I've got this right. Go back to stream here. There we go. We are live on this one. Okay, let's stop sharing that screen. Stream Elements is working good. Thank you. Okay, let's eliminate that. Go back to here, call up this live, and pop out this window. Let's see what happens. And stream. Okay, there we are. Top. Let us okay, where is the pop-out thing? Right here. Pop-out chat. There we go. This is so unprepared. I don't believe it. And back to StreamYard. Hello, Sharon. I guess I'm run out of time on EVMux. I'm using StreamYard today, so I run out of time for that one. You did send a couple? Let me check my email. Hang on, I got to share the screen here first. See if I can get this to work. Window, pop out, share that. But I don't think I can type in there. Oh yeah, I guess I can. Okay. Let me check my email. Raven D, yes, I see you had a couple of pictures here. Let me see if I can save that. And we'll save it to that slideshow. And then this one, we'll save this to that slideshow. Oh, I have a Lychee form and a DJI Mavic 3 series thing there too. Oh, cool, cool. Audio good. Yeah, I just had, I tried to get my other one going. That's why I'm early today. I tried to get my other one going and it said you are exceeding your time. And I thought you get 30 hours of time, and it looks like I've only got just about 20. So I'm going to have to go and investigate that a little later on, find out what's going on there. Oh, whoops, where did that go? My live stream, my window is gone. Here it is here. Let's call this back up. And that one, and now this one. There we go. That's back on top. Oh, and you can see the mouse. Oh, what do you know? Ah, great. So I had done live streams almost every night here this past week. Maybe that's why. And it's 2 hours a time, or that I was on just about every time. So I could see why. But when I look at it, it shows 15 hours on one and 4 hours on the other, which is 19. Well, it must be just 20. And I thought for sure EVMux was 30 hours a month. So that should be another 10 hours. But it's only the 19th. So I'm going to have to use StreamYard from now on for the rest of the month. And let me just see here. I don't know if the numbers are correct in here. Stream Elements could be used as one viewer. and I'm not really supposed to be going live until 12, but I had to make sure I got everything working. But these are easy to manipulate. StreamYard, EVMux, they're all pretty easy to work with. And the nice thing about StreamYard is better than EVMux is I can have 20 hours in one day if I want to stay on that long. But you're only allowed 20 hours a month. And if you decide to get the free version of StreamYard and the free version of EVMux, that gives you 50 hours a month that you can stream. That's a lot of time. Okay, YouTube side of the chat window is 5 seconds faster than the StreamYard. Wow. Usually that's a default, like 5, 6, 7 seconds. Sometimes it can be longer, but usually it's roughly 5 seconds. Which is, I don't know how that all works. I don't know when I type something in how long it takes for you guys to see that, if it's instantaneous or what. That's why with word games and things, or any kind of gaming things, it's how does that interact with the chat, it's people in the chat. Let's see what I've got as far as, okay, head to downloads, go to Nomadic Admin, and there, and then, okay, let's see here. Back up one. I think we're on number 13 as far as that goes. There's 10, 20, 29 in there. And then there's 29 in that one. And there's 10, so 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's copy those. And put those in number 13. Paste. And then we'll go back again to 15 and copy these 5 and put those in 14. Paste. There, okay. So now the slides I've got 34 in each one, and I got 2 more sets of slides that I can run. Slide number 13 show, and slide number 14, 15, 14, 13 and 14. Rob on the road is in the house. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Well, it's 7, it's probably almost evening for you. At what time is evening? From noon on is afternoon, but what time does evening kick in? 6 o'clock in the evening, 5 o'clock in the evening? What time is evening start? 7 o'clock? I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay, I see that. I have to leave it that size, otherwise it starts going over top of the. Oh, right on. At 5. No, 12. Oh, ouch. Yeah. 5 in the afternoon is 1700 hours is evening. Okay. So it must be afternoon for you or evening for you already. I would think. So that is okay. That's share window or share screen, not share window, share screen. Yeah, I can see why that would bother some people having the chat window on there twice. And for some reason, I just don't know why I like that on there. I've been trying to figure that out for myself. Why do I like the chat box as part of the video? Man, the light here is changing when the cloud goes by, and then the screen is on this side is really bright compared to that side. So, anyways, I'm now officially peeling my sunburn. Um, my sunburn's peeling. Andy, good afternoon. Yes, peekaboo is right. Good afternoon. Probably evening for you if it's after 5. So I was officially told by Rob that after 5 o'clock or 1700 hours, then it's evening. So it must be after 5 o'clock for you. And how are you doing there, by the way, everyone? Sharon or what? Yeah, Sharon's probably still in the house. She sent me some pictures for a 1656. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, another few more minutes, and it'll be officially evening for you. 4 more minutes. I still haven't made uh, Yorkshire pudding. I learned. I think I learned how to say Yorkshire. Um, I got a couple of different methods on doing it, but anyways, I bought a big pan. Maybe that's too big. You should have like um, cupcake size pans. But anyways, I got a big pan. So when I do mix this batter up and I put it in, I put some oil. I don't have any drippings from any like beef or pork or any kind of drippings. Beef drippings would be nice, but I have to use oil. So I put oil in there and I get it nice and hot till it's kind of like smoking, really hot. Get the oven going. Um, so I get the pan hot, and then I pour the batter in. I put it in the oven at what, 200 degrees Celsius, Fahrenheit, whatever the number. And then how long do I leave it in there if I have a thing this big? Well, hang on, I'll go get that and I'll show you what it is. It might be for my first attempt. I've eaten Yorkshire pudding, but I haven't made it before. So this is the pan. You can see how big it is compared to my head or my hand. It's pretty big. Yeah. So the amount of batter that I have to make to go in here, what if it's not enough to fill it? And I don't want to make too much. So you set a real thin layer on the bottom and then put it in the oven. And how long do I leave it in the oven? And you just watch it until it's like if you put it in the oven for 20 minutes, that seems like I can make a pancake in less than 1 minute. You would think for 20 minutes in a hot oven is like too long. Yeah, I figured cupcake ones are better to do. I just happen to have this. It's brand new. I could go to the store and buy little cupcake things. And then if I make enough batter to fill, let's say the cupcake is like two, four, six, eight or 10 big. If I don't have enough batter to fill them all, at least I'll have, be able to fill the ones in there. Or if I have too much batter, well, then I'm going to have to set some aside and do it in a second batch. But yeah, cupcake ones are probably better. You're right. But I don't know how long to leave it in there. Now, can I type something in the window, in the chat window? I don't know if let's try a link for Sharon. See if Stream Elements is working for there. There we go. There's Sharon's link. And I think I have. Well, hello, Justin and Christina. You're probably wondering, or maybe you're not wondering, why I'm using StreamYard. I didn't think about it, but I'm only allowed so many hours on the free version, just like StreamYard. You're only allowed so many hours a month. Well, I'm at my limit on the other one. When you go live every night, just because, I was twiddling my thumbs. Got to my limit, so I'm gonna have to do the rest of the month on StreamYard. And I'm trying to put some links in here so that you guys can go and visit these if you haven't already done so. Justin and Christina's in there. Sharon's in there. Andy's in there. Rob on the road. You probably all subscribe to each other by now, but anyway, there's the links for you. I've programmed them in there. Great, love it. So this is the pan I got. You can see the size of it. Yorkshire pudding. I don't know how much would fill this. If I make, now I've got controversial amounts of this day. Eggs, milk, and flour. So far I've got equal amounts of, like, let's say you have a coffee cup like this. If I fill it halfway with milk and halfway with eggs, and then half again with flour, that's equal amounts of everything. And then I've got also from YouTube and stuff like eggs, milk, and then a full flour one. So if you make a full flour one, then the consistency of each of those is completely different. One would be way more liquidy than the other one. And so I don't know. Oil in a tin, get it very hot, almost smoking, then thin layer of batter, cook until brown. Okay, there's no set time that you can put it in the oven, although I've seen Jeremy, a British cook guy that you guys probably know. He has a pan like this size and he made a huge one. Now it fluffs way up on the top, on the edges, and then the center is quite low. But he put his in the oven for 20 minutes at that size. Can't have too much Yorkshire pudding. You British guys, I mean, I've eaten it. You can buy it in the restaurants and stuff, but I've never made it. So my first attempt, I'm kind of curious to find out. I'm kind of curious to find out what it's going to look like. Hopefully, I'll video it if I remember, and even if it doesn't turn out, I'll video it to show you, and then you can criticize or give me pointers. Now, I am subscribed to every one of yous here, and the links that I put in there, if you haven't done so already, go and check each other out. And If you're referring to the chef Jeremy, oh yes, that's the guy. He can get in the bin. Jamie, that's the fellow. And I watched. He did a Yorkshire pudding in a almost this size, I would think, big puffy one. The edges were like overflowed. But what he did was he did some vegetables beforehand in the oven, onions. I can't remember what else, but there was tomato. There was something else in there, a bunch of vegetables. And then he did the Yorkshire pudding, and then he poured the vegetables in the finished uh, Yorkshire pudding. Jamie Oliver is not from Yorkshire. No, no, but he's from the UK somewhere. He has a UK accent, a British accent, so he must be from somewhere around there. I didn't know there was even a place called Yorkshire. And that is that place called Yorkshire? I know the pudding is Yorkshire because Paul corrected me. He says, no, no, that's not pronounced Yorkshire. And then with like a beef gravy would be nice. I've got the gravy here. I've got everything I need, except I think this thing's too big and it might fail on me because it's just too big to to start with. I should have got a cupcake type uh, pan to put in the oven. And then again, I guess you have to keep an eye on it. I don't even know if this oven here has whether you can see inside it. I thought most house ovens has a glass window where you can see inside, so you can see if it's done. You don't want to be opening the door all the time. Uh, Jamie Oliver, yeah, that's the fellow. Jamie Oliver. He can get in the bin. He can get in the bin. I'm not too sure what that means. Get in the bin. Not being. It must be a British term. Get in the bin. Use the Yorkshire pudding a bowl. Put your meal in the middle of it. Yeah, that's what Jamie did. He made the Yorkshire by itself in the pan. It was this size, big. But then I don't know why the sides would puff up and not the center, which is weird. But being a flour batter, you'd think it would rise, but it probably gets a little thick in the bottom, but not extremely. The sides really puff up. And then he made, like I said, vegetables to go in the center of it when it was all done. He would pour that in the center of the Yorkshire pudding, and that's what he would serve it that way. It looked really good. I might have to go look that up and see what he made there. That sounds like it's delicious. And the Yorkshire pudding itself is it flavorful if you just use the three ingredients, or do you add some sort of salt, pepper to the batter, or whatever else to the batter before you make it? Because it sounds like if it's just eggs, milk, and flour, there would be no flavor, like flavor to it, like a beef flavored, unless you use a beef flavored gravy, or serve it with like with a beef meal. And then some guys were saying they put a like salt, pepper, and some other kind of seasoning in there. Also, you can or can you don't have to, but you can put it in there if you like. Use the Yorkshire pudding a bowl. as a bowl, right? I'm just afraid when I cook it, I'm going to overcook it, or I'm sure if I use a cup like this, you can see how big it is. Uh, Fill it to here with milk halfway, and then the rest of the way with eggs. So that's probably going to be like 3 eggs, and then this much flour, or the whole thing flour. So that's not an equal amount of each. That would be double the amount of flour compared to the milk and the egg. That should be enough to fill the bottom of that pan. It will absorb the flavors from the gravy and other foods. Yeah, okay. I was thinking about making the Yorkshire pudding in here, and then make a beef gravy, because I don't have any beef around, but I'll have to use that powdered gravy mix stuff. Make myself a beef gravy or a brown kind of gravy, and then use that as a dip. Just dip the Yorkshire pudding in it, or put the Yorkshire pudding on my plate and then pour the gravy on top. And then I could make a vegetable, yeah, to go with that. But it would be nice to make it so that this would be the bowl, and leave it in here, and then put the vegetables and stuff inside in the center. But it'd be already cut. It would be both would be already cooked. The pudding and the fillings would already be cooked. You just pour the vegetables and what in there after it comes right out of the oven or off the burner, or however you do that. I think you need to get about 3 of us up on the live doing Yorkshire pudding at the same time. Yeah, no kidding. We'd all have to be in the kitchen ready to go. Remember to let the batter rest before you cook it. Oh, yeah, somebody was saying like hours. Let it rest for 3 or 4 hours. And I'm a really like get up and go type guy. I guess I should be, if I want to make this pudding for tonight, I should be making it now and put it in the fridge. And Andy agrees with that too, to let it sit for a while. I was on the FaceTime with Andy there, and he was explaining about how to do it. And I appreciate that. That was great. But it would be nice to be able to know how to make that stuff for myself, as opposed to like going out somewhere and then to a restaurant, then they just happen to have it on the menu and get it that way. It would be nice to make it. Sounds like a pretty reasonable, cheap meal to make for yourself. And um, I guess if you made too much batter, you could always like let it sit for several hours, make yourself whatever amount you make, and then put the rest back in the fridge or put it somewhere, and then do it again with whatever you have left. But yeah, a cupcake pan would be great, because then you could fill up whatever you have left as necessary. Wouldn't matter if you couldn't fill them all up. You would fill up whatever you had. So we are on StreamYard today. My other one, I did make a one with EV Mux, but it didn't tell me that I was running out of time, so it put it online. I went there and had to delete it, and it was getting close to 12, so I thought I'd start early just to make sure everything was working. Sorry, guys, I have to put the air conditioner on. Yeah, it's pretty warm today. And okay, let me just see here. Andy is in the house. I put your link up already somewhere. Rob is in the house. I put your link up. Uh, Justin and Christina were in the house. I put their link up. And Sharon, I put her link up also. So that's cool. So do you guys see this link right here where my mouse is right now by Justin and Christina? It says Hi Wayne, and then Nomadic Van Man is in an orange color. I don't know if you guys know how to if you guys know how to do that. It's with that at symbol. You type in the at symbol there, and then the minute you start typing someone's channel name, like for example, let me just try one here. If I go for Sharon, I type in the at symbol, then the S, then the H. Now it already brings up Sharon's icon there. So I would click on it, and then I would type in hello and hit enter. And I don't know, for me, it doesn't show that, but for you, well, unless it's to you, I would think. Yeah, if it's to Sharon, she should be able to see at Sharon Lewis in an orange color or whatever color you got it set for, I guess. So that's how you, I don't know if you guys know that or not, but that's how you highlight whoever. So when you put the at symbol and their channel name in there, the, by just typing the first two letters should pop up their channel. Then you would click on it and it will bring up their full channel name, and then click on it again and you can start typing a message. So that therefore, whoever you sent that message to, it will highlight and they can see that and they'll say, oh, that message is to me, instead of just typing something in that someone else should be reading. If they're not reading it, they won't see it. Just a funny pointer. So that's what that is, that at symbol. Now I don't know why I can't see that in orange. Maybe Sharon can see that in orange, but I don't. I will be back in a bit, just going up to the shop for some baked beans. Oh, wow. And some Yorkshire pudding. Cheesy beans on toast. Oh, yikes. Sounds good. And it's in the evening for you guys. Well, it's, I guess they call it either dinner time or supper time. It all depends on where you're from. I was kind of brought up with breakfast, lunch, and supper, or breakfast, dinner, and supper. Breakfast, dinner, and supper. And some people are brought up with breakfast, lunch, and dinner as the three meals of the day. Lunch is a noontime meal, and how I was brought up is dinner was a noontime meal. The meal in the evening would have been supper time for me, and for some people it's dinner time. I guess it all depends on where you're from and how you were brought up. Breakfast is breakfast. Well, then you can have a brunch. Yeah, well, thanks, Andy. Enjoy your meal. So if you use the free version of StreamYard, you get, I think, 20 hours a month that you can do. Then they cut you off. EVMux has 30 hours a month. Then they cut you off. Then if you use Melon, it has another so many hours a month, I suppose, the free one. What else is there? There must be a couple other ones. Um, you could have enough hours in a month to do 2 hours a day every day. It's just that the um, maybe StreamYard's the other is might be a little different. To pay for it might be worth it. Not just to get rid of the little logo in the corner, but EVMux to buy it uh, is not much more of a benefit. They already give you so much in there with the free version that it for me. The only thing that would benefit me is to get rid of the little logo in the corner and put my own logo up there, and that's hardly worth it to buy it for a year's. I think it's $300 a year, 228 American, which is actually a pretty good price. That's a full year. Then you get unlimited hours though. But like, I always used to go every Sunday. Well, that's only 4 times a month, five sometimes, but uh, and if you stay on, like, that's plenty of time. But I just happened to be going every night here for the past little bit, and yeah, I've used up my time already. It goes fast when you do that. So I think after the live here, I'm going to make my batter for the Yorkshire pudding, and then for tonight, for tonight, it should be ready to go. Although um, here in Mexico, everybody uses propane for their stoves and ovens, and I should be just about out and time to go get it filled up again, and it lasts about a month. It's 35, 38, uh, 38 liters, 38 gallon, 38. Well, it's 38, whatever that means. And that lasts about a month, and it's been a month, so it's going to. I'd hate when you're cooking and doing something and your gas runs out when you're half done. It's ran out on me twice, but it's always when I'm just ready to start cooking. It wouldn't come on. I'd put the burner on and go click, 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 and no, it wouldn't light. And then, oh, I guess I'm out of fuel. Then I'd have to call a cab, put the thing in the back of it, put in the trunk, go to the station, fill it up, come back, and then I could make breakfast. So I was lucky that way. But when you're half done a meal and it runs out, that's not good. If you have leftover batter, add more milk and make pancakes. Yeah, I could do that. Yes, because the pancakes I do make in the morning comes from a pancake mix, pre-done. All I do is add a little bit of milk and an egg, and it's already got whatever else in sugar or whatever else is in pancake mix, not just regular flour. It's like pancake mix. It's pretty close, I would think. And then some of those pancake mixes you that you can buy, you can add. There's two of them. You can add just water, mix it up, and ready to go, or you can add milk. You have to buy the right one. Add milk, whip it up, ready to go. Or the kind that I have is you add milk and one egg, and it's like 1 cup of flour, if you want that size. 1 cup of flour, 3/4 of a cup of milk, and one egg, and that makes your batter. That would make a lot of pancakes. Too many for me, so I cut everything in half. I'd like a half a cup of flour, still one egg, and then 3/4 of no, half a cup of flour, and then 3/4 of a half a cup for the milk. But yeah, okay, leftover batter, you just add a little bit more milk, and you got yourself pancakes. Yeah, right on. With a little butter and syrup on there. Ooh, that would be beautiful. Yeah. Okay, and I have shirt on today too. Again, oh, every time I get on the table with my elbows in the screen vibrates. Rock and roll. Let me just see here. Is Sharon still in the house or did she go away now? I was going to put a few, um, what do you call it, slideshow thing there. Let me just see what I've got there. Um, this is number 13. Yeah, okay, number 13. Slideshow number 13. What if I go to here and to here and get rid of that? Stop sharing. Stop sharing that. Hey, look at that. And then we'll go to, oh, I guess I have to start that first though. Call up this one and go to open with photos, back to StreamYard, share screen, window, share the window. There we go. And let's blow this up. And blow that up. We can share share a few photos with you. Last summer I went to a lot of ghost towns in Alberta, there, Saskatchewan, and this happens to be a picture from a house or a yard in one of the ghost towns. Their outhouse, the toilet. They didn't have toilets inside the houses at that time. They didn't have plumbing like we do today, but this is their outhouse, and it's leaning over. Okay, how can I do this part? Let's grab this, move it over to the side, grab this one, put it here. Okay, then I can just go click, 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 and I should be able to do the next one. So if there's any comments or anything, just questions or whatever, just type them in the window. And if you have any questions about what the photo is. Okay, this here is a little Star Trek, and it is a street light, and it's from a little town called Vulcan in Alberta. Vulcan, where Spock comes from. Vulcan. And there's a museum there that has all Star Trek stuff in it, but their street lights are all little Star Trek spaceships. And you can see on the top of this one, that little round knob up on top there, that is the light sensor for the when the light gets to be so dim, then the light comes on. When the sunlight gets to be dusk, then the street light will come on, by itself. So these were pretty cool. I like those. I might have another one here of that. No, this is just a big statue or whatever you call it of Star Trek. I can't remember what model this was, the 1600 series or something or whatever it was. This is pretty big. There is nothing to give you any indication of size there. And I don't know if Sharon's still in the house or not. So she's got some pictures here. I think they're near the end. And she was kind enough to send me in some photos. I think a lot of people don't think their photos are worthy to be put up, but that's only because of your your thoughts on that. It's not. It might be perfect to someone else. And here's a bit of Klingon language. What do you want in Vulcan? That's what it says there. What do you want in Vulcan? And the language is Klingon language. So I would suspect that the Klingon language has got every letter of the alphabet. I don't know why it would be double E here. What do you want in Vulcan? But anyways, that's the Klingon language, and I think I have another one. This is Vulcan language. Welcome to Vulcan. Vulcan is the name of the town, a small town. But that's written in Vulcan. And then let's see what's next. There is your first motorized tricycle. You put a battery, an actual car battery on there, and it hooks up to the motor. I guess it's too dark, you can't even see it. The motor is just below the steering wheel. And then there was a pedal that you would push. I don't know if you can see the mouse. Yeah, you can see it. There's a stand. This is where you would stand on here. And it's an electric bike. From there is a pedal somewhere that you would push the pedal, which would tighten up the belt that goes from the motor to the wheels to move you, and the battery would sit. There is a compartment where the battery would sit here, which connects to the motor. But I was thinking of that. I said, wow, they had electric bikes way back, whatever year this was. Simply amazing. And I don't know. It looks like the steering wheel was just one. Oh, there was a one-handed steering wheel, and then this little gear here would engage everything. There's a pulley gear. I should have taken more pictures of this. Yeah, Sharon, I've got some photos here, 30, 35 of them, 34 of them, something like that. And then this here it comes from a place that has a whole bunch of windmills, all the way from the newest windmills that they have today, the big ones with the big blades. And then this here was, I don't know why it was situated the way it was. I think you could turn the whole house that's attached to the blades there. You could turn it so that they would catch the wind. That's why it's got a funny base on it. And this one was a wheat grinding mill, flour mill. Quite a big thing. You can tell by the doors there. Like the base would turn on there. This was a huge thing. And there was hundreds, not hundreds, there was tens of different kinds of windmills all around in here. I don't think I have any more of the other ones, but oh, this is the same picture of the same one. This here part would detach from the other part, or the whole thing would swing. I can't remember now exactly. The whole thing would turn, and you would face it into the wind. I don't know if the blades had a fabric on them, because all their windmills there had blades like this, but no fabric on any of them. They would just the wood things would you could turn those, and it would pick up the wind. This is a wood carving of a tree that was growing, and then some guy this is Medicine Hat. Some guy in Medicine Hat took his chainsaw out and his knives and whatever, and he carved, instead of cutting the tree down completely, maybe it was a dead tree, he would carve this as part of the tree. Now, I'm sure that the wings and were added on after the fact here, because that would have been a huge tree just to have a one carving. Although from the base all the way up to where my mouse is, there is probably one carving, and then the head and the wings were added on. But there's a lot of these carvings in Medicine Hat there, like instead of chopping the tree completely down. Another view of the same thing. Like I'm saying, the wings were probably added on after the fact. Big dragon on top of a stump there. If you got any, while I'm explaining the photos, but if there's any questions, just type them in. Oh, and this is just the head of the. And I guess you can't see the eyes very well. Now that head must have been added on here somewhere. I can't even tell. If you're Canadian, you know what this is. This is the Parliament buildings in Montreal, I think. Montreal. The clock. There was a lot of construction going on there at the time. You could still go in and tour the place, but there was outside a lot of scaffolding on the outside. Unfortunately, this is not where Trudeau lives, because when I went through there, I said I'm going to go have a talk with Trudeau and make sure he runs the country a little better than what he was doing. And all the buildings are like this. They look old and rustic, although very nice architecture. Like, wow. And there's blocks and city blocks and all these parliament type buildings there. These are part of it too. The stat bronze. I don't know I don't know if they're bronze, but the statues. They're life size. If there's the whole statue over here is just a bust of, but you can see the actual person there compared to the statue, that they're all life size. They're all this black color. I don't know what kind of metal it is, but they're all the dark black color there. Ooh, what is this? It's so dark I can't see it myself. Vancouver. The city of Vancouver from across. This is a big crane. They're always building buildings there. That's the Vancouver skyline from across the inlet, and I'm in North Vancouver taking this shot. And that's where I was when the fireworks were happening. The fireworks would have been off to the right a little bit, but you could get a clearer shot because the fireworks were all set off on right on the docks of Vancouver City. And then I'm sitting in Vancouver or North Vancouver City across the inlet. Right across there, that's where the fireworks would have been. Let's go back one photo. That pyramid, this thing here. I'm sure that's the same as that other picture. Maybe not. Oops. Back up, go here. There's the tower in the back behind the skyscrapers. That's the tower there. Oh, what's that? There's the stadium back there somewhere, the football stadium. Oh, anyway, this is the what do you call it? Airport. The airport on the water. Part of it's a little bit more to the right there. This is downtown Vancouver there. A lot of power there, eh? Look at all the lights everywhere. They're all on. Like holy. And some fireworks. That's when the fireworks were happening. You could see in the background there, that symbol there, that was part of the other video or other picture with those canopy things here. And this was on purpose zoomed in when the fireworks went off. That's why it looks kind of fuzzy. It's on purpose that way. I had zoomed in at the time when the fireworks were going off instead of just having a still shot of fireworks. That's why it's the way it is. It still captures all the light happening. There is no light without darkness. This is a place called Red Rock Coulee, and all the rocks are round. They're cracked like this in half, falling apart. But they're one area there that they're just sitting on the surface, and they're round. There again, I should have put something in here like me or some people or something that you could get a sense of scale for these things. But like to the top of this rock here, I don't know if you can see the mouse cursor. The top of that would have been about my shoulder if I was standing down here, height. So that's a pretty big rock. And it looked like it broke in half here. I don't know if I have more of these here coming up. I didn't look at the photos to begin with to see what. Yeah, thanks, Sharon. The regular type photos, but oh, spider web. I don't know if the spider's in there. It looks like he has some bugs that he'd made up, or it's all full of a lot things that were sort of flying through the. Oops, back up again. That's spider web. Yeah. I was thinking maybe it was a broken glass, but no, it's a spider web. Yeah. Everybody loves sunsets. All mine are sunsets, though, by the way. They're not sunrises. I don't get up early enough to get the sunrise. Just a sunset that was, I like the way it was lighting up the clouds. My buddy, my little chipmunk buddy. Let's see how when you get right in, he's not in focus. His eye, see this should be a spot. You want the eye to be in focus. So wherever the focus is not on the eye, that's for sure. Looks like it's not on the, could be focused in front of. Maybe not so much in front of it either, probably behind. A little chipmunk buddy. Some old rotted out stump. Just love the colors at that thing there. So that's what that one's all about. Nothing much there except the colors. A butterfly. There again. I hate out of focus pictures, and I got a whole bunch of them. I can see this is not in focus. Yeah, sure. When you're back here and you look at it, it still looks out of focus to me, but looks like the focus was in front. Not even. Hey, I never noticed this. That's a man-made thing. That's a piece of pipe or something. And it's really small because the butterfly is small. I never noticed that before. Huh, cool. Yeah, the buildings, Sharon, were downtown Vancouver, Vancouver City. Aha! I don't know how long it takes for you guys to see this, whether it's a few seconds later, but this is near Christmas time on Victoria Island. The city of Victoria. Oh, just see if I can cross my leg here. The city of Victoria is the capital city of British Columbia, and this is the Parliament buildings in downtown Victoria. The way they're all lit up. Right in front is a fountain here. You can see the water there. That is the Parliament building in Victoria. I don't know what the significance behind this one is. Cannot remember. I don't know why this is. What's the? Oh, this. Oh, just a red light. It's the red light for some people and the walk sign for others. I think I just like the way the. Oh, it was kind of rainy or something, or foggy, or whatever it was that made these streaks on the lights. That's what that was for. No filter on the end to make it do that. It's just a natural um, light streak there. Well, there I are. I'm sitting in a abandoned town, a ghost town, and these people that were living in here left everything. You can see in the background there. It's like the table was still set. There's the salt and pepper shaker. It looks like a little doll there or something. Their meal was set. They just picked up and left. All the furniture was in there, so I just sat down and took a picture of myself. There was on on this side there was a piano still there. There looked like an upstairs. I never went upstairs. Uh, there was a basement in this place, but you don't want to walk around too much for fear that you'll fall down. Hey, Mr. Danny Staten is in the house. Uh, let's see if I've got you in here, Danny. As far as stream elements goes, yes, I do. There's the link for Danny Staten's channel. I put everybody else's link in there up above. So Anyways, it's just a little bit of a slideshow today. Sharon sent in some photos, and I think I got half of them, Sharon. I put up, gave me the like. Thanks, Jenny. I always give a like too and thumbs up. Always. This is a ghost town. It's a ghost house. Like I said, the people just got up and left. Like when you zoom into here, you can see in the background the salt and pepper shaker still there. Even got pepper in it, and a bowl and all kinds of stuff still here. So I just sat down in the chair. Okay, what's in my hand? Oh, a video camera also. What do you know? Oh, cool. Didn't even realize I had that. Oh, and the mic, video camera with a microphone. Duh. Okay. I must have some video of this, which I didn't realize. It's on to the next photo. The moon. The moon. A big full moon that night. Wow. Uh, some sort of moss or whatever. I don't know if you consider it a weed. I guess you can hear the dogs, right? When somebody walks by, they all get going. Now I'm thinking that there's something wrong with the dog when he does that. They shouldn't be, they should be more disciplined on. Oh, there's people walk by with those big jugs of water on a cart. That's what I need. I can't carry those. Those are a little bit too heavy. I need a little wagon like that. But anyways, this is moss, some sort of a moss thing growing there. And like I said, it all depends on your photo, what you like. Just take your photos what you like. Don't take a photo because someone else might like. Like, don't try to take a photo for someone else's likes. Take a photo for what you like. And I know you're your own worst critic, but just take your photo and there's a lot of people that would, they like different things. So yeah, thanks, Mr. Staten. Greetings, YouTube. Can't do it like you do, but uh, I prefer it if you send it to the email. I don't know. My Dropbox, it says you're supposed to have X amount of space, but mine is 10 megabytes or something. You could, lucky if you could put one photo on there. But if you want to send pictures in, send all you want, as many as you can put in there if you like. But I guess you're going to have to send it to my email. And I don't know if you know my email. I don't think it's in the description below. Let me just type it in here for you. You might know it or have it saved somewhere. Make sure I got the spelling correctly. That's my email there. You can send me whatever you like. I'll put them on my list and add them in. Hep. Oh, I think he prefers email. Yeah, you're right, Sharon. I do prefer email as opposed to Dropbox. Now, I thought Dropbox, you were supposed to get like 10 gigabytes or 100 gigabytes or something for free, and mine's only 100 megabytes or something. I can't put anything on there. I tried to put something for Michael Santana to send his videos and stuff, but it wouldn't work. It was too small. And I don't know if I like Dropbox. Anyways, this is a photo. Next one. Ooh, very dark. But it was, this isn't rain. This is a water sprinkler system that was going. And it just, when I zoomed in, it looked just like it was raining, but I'm standing in the sun. So that's what that is all about. Standing in the rain. Okay, let me get back to the picture. There we go. I think there's only five more pictures, so we're just about through them. I'm kind of interested in palm trees, the way they grow. They're not like rings like of a regular tree. Like you cut them apart, and they're not rings like that. They grow upward, or strange compared to other trees. But yeah, very amazing. Like the leaves of these things are really tough. This is a Sharon photo. It's not one of mine. Now, let's see, that's a good photo. A dandelion. And you can see some more in the background there. That's probably one there too. All you got to do is blow on that and you send the seeds all over to germinate again. But very nice. You got down low and took that photo, and the background is out of focus. That's what is nice. That's called bokeh, that kind of video. You could have had it so that the whole thing is clear, but that wouldn't have. Uh, this highlights the dandelion. That's what's this center of focus is. Nice picture. There's probably lots of other dandelions here too. You can see. Yeah. Okay. Look at this. Is this all the same building? Looks like it must be. Like that top one and this one here looks the same. Yeah, it's all the same building. Mr. Ronnie Braun. I don't know how you get to visit all them live streams, Mr. Ronnie. I see you on them when I pass by sometimes. Amazing, amazing amount of lives. So, what is this building? If you know, is it a parliament building of some sort, or what is it? Montage of all the from different angles and stuff. Wow, nice moon picture. If you're just, you must be way behind in watching or seeing the pictures. Maybe they don't come across as fast as I'm showing them here to you. So right now we're looking at one of your photos with the buildings. Looked like the building from Ghostbusters. Oh, really? I don't think I even watched the Ghostbusters. Saw bits and pieces of, but never watched the actual movie. Okay. Could be though. Could be. I think there's only, well, it looks like there's another picture anyways yet coming up. Oh, poolside. Oh, nice clean water. Nice and clear. Don't know what time of year this is, but you're not in the water. There's nobody in the water, as a matter of fact. No. Downtown St. Petersburg. Okay. Did you see what Danny Staten said about it? It looks like the building from Ghostbusters. Last week. Oh, really? Nice there. So what is this place? Oh, I thought that was a name of the building. You got the whole place to yourself. Can't quite read the signs. But you got the whole pool to yourself there. My goodness. I think that's the last photo of this time. I got another series of for next Sunday or next time round. You're a good pool shot. Yeah. The community pool, quite large. Yeah, it looks like it. Not a soul in there. So there was that one with all the buildings, or all the, I mean, the shots of the same building there. And then the dandelion, that's a nice shot. I love that one. I don't know if you knew you were doing bokeh. Bokeh is when you, like, your shutter must have been like F4, F3, whatever the, once you get into F7, F8, F9, then it become clearer farther back. Like F11, everything would be clear, and it would take away from the dandelion if the background was clear. So you set your f-stop correctly, as far as I'm concerned, anyways. Which makes this is the central focus is the dandelion there. Perfect shot. And the palm trees. Let's see if there's. You see how they cut the leaves off, and then the way it grows, like it's amazing how these trees grow. But I don't see any cocoa nuts. No. Maybe it takes, I don't know how long it takes for the trees to actually produce a coconut, how long it takes for them to. Tried to do a slow-mo shot of blowing without success. Oh, you tried to make a video or like a still shot of the dandelion. Now, if you take a still shot and took it for a long period of time, like 1 second or more, or even longer than that, 2 or 3 seconds, if it was blowing, then you would get it would look blurry. But if you're trying to do a video, uh, a slow motion video, yeah, well, then you have to set up your camera and do all that to make it, instead of a hyperlapse, like a slow mo type. You'll get it on how to do the slow mo shot. And I think, yeah, then they're back into the ones that I did there. The moon, the full moon. Victoria, the Parliament buildings in Victoria. That's what I'm trying to think of doing with the drone footage, is make a hyperlapse or slow-mo with the drone instead of my camera. Or even this one here, make it a video and not a still shot. And you have to be quick though, because the thing explodes, the firework explodes, and then it's only on there for less, well, maybe 1,001, maybe 2 seconds. So you're going to have to zoom in for those 2 seconds. Now, sometimes you can see that when it's going up, you can see the firework when they shoot it and it goes up. So then you can anticipate when it's going to blow up, explode. Then you get if you're doing still shots, that's how you can get so that or you just set the camera on there and do click, 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 and just one of the shots, you'll get it. Downtown Vancouver, another one, same, just over a ways. Montreal, Medicine Hat, the dragon, all carved out of one tree, except the wings and I think the head, because unless the tree was bent over that way. But there's a lot of carvings. I have more, but I think they're not in this series, anyways. That dragon there again, still, and this, I want to see the next one to this. This whole part right here. So I'm thinking that those staircase, when they turn this whole thing to face the wind, this base part here is all solid to the ground, and then right up on top here is a big turntable, and the whole thing would turn. But I'm thinking that even the staircase would be moved, would be rolled around, Anyway, never thought about it till after I left there and saw all that. And there's your first electric bicycle, a three-wheeler. Vulcan language says, welcome to Vulcan. Your Klingon language. What do you want in Vulcan? And it's the little town of Vulcan. And a big Star Trek Enterprise starship there. And then this is actually a light, city street light. The light would come out of the bottom here, shine out of here. The little knob on top is the light sensor to sense when it's dusk to turn the light on. And then the top part is it looks like a hole, and they're all the way down the city streets like this, with a whole bunch of these. Like every street lamp this was their light. Kind of cool. And they had a museum there, which I went through, made video of that there. The girl, when I walked in, she says, why did you come to Vulcan today? And I said, well, I came to Vulcan to visit with Spock. She said, and Spock was there. He went there because the town was called Vulcan, and he is supposedly from Vulcan in the Star Trek series. And so this museum they have up there, they showed pictures of when he went there and promoted the town and what have you. And it's just a small town. It's not a big city at all, but they had a big museum there. I went through it. There's some doors that went with that noise, zzzt, and you would go through, and it'd be like on the Enterprise, on the I have video out from maybe a year ago, last year or something, about that place, full of memorabilia. But yet, you know what they didn't have, and I was surprised. And I asked her about, why don't you have this thing, and they said they never even heard of that. It was the chess game, the multi-level chess game that Spock and Kirk played chess on, and they don't even have one in there. Yet they got memorabilia from even things that I didn't know they had on the Star Trek, and yet they didn't have that um, uh, chess game on there. And that's where Spock was he's way more intelligent than Kirk was. Yet Kirk beat him in chess, and he said, "Well, it's the human factor is put in there where you can throw a curveball in, and you can beat a machine because a human can throw a curveball into chess." But anyways, so Danny Staten, I don't know if you did I tell you that why I'm using StreamYard today as opposed to EV Mux, because I ran out of my time. I used up all my time in EV Mux, so I had to use StreamYard. I had to get in there and program it all for today's live. Uh, if you're streaming a lot of time, I can see what then you probably want to purchase. It's not that I'm too cheap, it's just I can't afford to buy. Well, it's only a one-time payment, I know, and it's good for the whole year. But in Canadian dollars, it was $330 in Canadian to buy 1 year's worth of. I don't have that. I don't have that kind of money. I needed the money for my back to get my back fixed and X-ray to find out what the heck was going on there. I don't have enough money to buy. It's too bad I wasn't rich like Elon Musk or somebody, where you could actually buy anything you really wanted. Anyways, it's going to be making, when I get out of here, it's going to be making Yorkshire pudding in this pan today, because that's all I have. And I might go on YouTube again a little bit and look to see how they suggest in a pan that size, like how long you put it in the oven for. And I'm just hoping my gas is running low. I don't want it to run out halfway when you're finished. Well, then it's garbage, when something's half cooked. I hate it when you have that kind of. I think in Canada, when you have a gas stove, you can never run out. You just make sure you make your monthly payments of gas, and you're hooked up to the city's gas supply, and you will at least never run out. Here they have big cylinders that you have to go get filled up all the time, and I think they're 38. Oh yes, don't forget to fill in the Yorkshire. Yes, I'll do that. I'll even, right from the beginning, I'll video the amounts I use and mixing it up, and then put it up. What do you put it in the fridge for a few hours until tonight? So it's 1 o'clock here now, and if I eat at like 6 o'clock, that should be plenty of time to be in the fridge, and then I'll try to remember videoing the whole thing, putting it in the oven. I better first see if the oven actually works. I use the burners on top. You can't cook it like that. It has to be in the oven. So I'm gonna have to. I've never even opened the ovens. I don't know how it would light or whatever. I'm sorry. I have to check that all out first there, Rob. But I will video, yes, and then I'll show you, and you can tell me where I've failed, because I'm thinking. You see, that's the thing. Is it bad to think about that you're going to fail, or is it you should be thinking about how you can succeed? Maybe I got the wrong attitude there. You're enjoying your cheesy beans and toast or on toast. Now that's a pretty good, excellent meal. Hang on, let me just see if I can stop camera for a moment. You can at least still hear me, but I just got to get up and do my secret thing. Talk amongst yourselves for just a moment, please. Now I'm just thinking there, Andy. Let me turn the air conditioning off. I'm just thinking, Andy, that like you said, like your beans and toast, things here taste different. I'm surprised. Like bread tastes the same. You know, when you go to the corner store and buy bread, but not homemade. The bread tastes the same, but almost everything else tastes a little different. You can't find. I cannot find like in Canada, anyways, or even in the States, like they're called pork and beans. Um, they don't necessarily always have pork in it, but like those kind of beans in the brown sauce, they don't have that here. They have dark beans. They have refried beans. So I can't make even like a pork and bean on toast because they don't have pork and beans. Even their corn on the cob tastes different. Um, their potatoes, a regular potato that you skin and peel, that you would peel and make a mashed potato or whatever kind of potato, they're not quite the kind for baking potatoes, like baked potato. But even their potatoes taste different because they only have one, maybe two different kinds. I've only seen one kind so far. Whereas in Medicine Hat, you get your big, you know, you get your red potatoes, your yellow potatoes, your white potatoes, your russet potato. You get four or five different kinds of potatoes. So I can't even make like a mashed potato and something that tastes the same as here. I can't find things that taste the same. It's amazing. It's good to be back, Sharon. Yeah. Andy was showing his ladies making out in his shop there, but he doesn't realize I'm one of those people that when I watch a video, I look at things in the background. I look at other things than usually what's going on. And I noticed your shed there, your shop. You have a lot of stuff in there. I could rummage through that thing and come up with all kinds of projects. Holy, you got a wealth of stuff there, let me tell you. So you should have parts and pieces for to make all kinds of stuff. Does the beef taste the same? And that's the thing. Like, do you guys know what bologna is? Bologna? They don't have bologna here. They have something else that's very, very, very close, but it does not taste like bologna. They have. I've never ever. In this area, I've never seen an actual cow, or I've never seen a pig for that matter. But most tacos are made with pork or chicken, and sometimes beef. They have rojo or rojo. That's the beef eye. They have everything beef: the brain, the eyes, the whatever. So they must have cattle somewhere in Mexico, big I've seen them on YouTube, miles and miles and miles of beef. And in the stores, yes, they do have steaks. Very hard to find, like in Medicine Hat, you can buy regular ground beef, lean ground beef, extra lean ground beef. And here you can only find one kind of ground beef. It's called 90-90-10. I don't know what that means, but a lot of their ground beef is mixed with ground pork and ground beef together. So but you can find a steak, yes, roasts, things like that. But like I said, like bologna or sliced ham, and when you buy it in the package already sliced, super thin, so thin that when you try to take one out of there, you'll get three or four. They're really thin. So you go to the butcher part of the store and you tell them you want ham or I forget what they call it. It's not bologna. It's something else that looks like bologna and tastes not quite, but it's the same. Uh, and you would get that sliced to whatever, if you're going to make sandwiches and stuff, make it a little bit thicker because the stuff they call bologna, I would call bologna. When I tell them bologna, they don't know what I'm talking about. I have to call it by the name that it is here. Um, the already sliced in the packaged stuff is really, really thin. So I have to get my own, go to the butcher part, and then they slice it for you. Does the beef? I don't know. I've never had a beef steak, so I don't know. I've had hamburger here. You're a hoarder. You can hit the thumbs up button anytime you like there, Sharon. That adds actually a lot to the YouTube algorithm. That helps more than a lot of other things you would think of. What does Rob say here? Everything tastes the same with enough seasoning. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, they have lamb too here for tacos. They have beef, pork, lamb, uh, pollo is chicken, but not cat or rat. Although some companies or companies, some countries eat rats, and some eat dogs. Um, Not my cup of tea, but yeah, it does. It does help a lot actually when you give the thumbs up or when you press the like button. Is that the same? The like and the thumbs up? Gee, I can't remember now anymore. But I was trying to tell my sister, she's a Facebook girl, and comments on my videos on Facebook. And I said, well, that doesn't help me one single bit. If you're going to comment, go to YouTube, and you don't even have to watch the video. Just click the thumbs up. That'll help more than anything. Oh, here's an automatic one from Stream Elements that pops up automatically. We don't get bologna in the UK, so no idea what it is. Okay. It's like a hot dog, only big around. You can get it's a big round thing. I guess the size of a little piece of bread, size round. But it's that kind of consistency, like a ground up meat, and then all packaged. Like, look, if you cut a hot dog, and that's what it would kind of look like. But it's the smell of it and the flavor of it is just not like a hot dog at all. I love the smell of it and the taste of bologna. Although this meat here they got doesn't taste like that at all. It tastes like completely different. Poor Aunt Mabel. Yeah, and I don't know. they have things here in the stores you don't like cactus, those round cactus with the little spikes sticking out of them. I don't know how you would even prepare one of those to eat, but they have those. Uh, Thinly sliced, oversized frankfurters. It could be. Yeah, it's about the same color as a hot dog. Like that kind. It's like a hot dog only blown up real big. You're afraid to eat the hot dog. Well, they say if you go through a hot dog factory and see how they make a hot dog, you might never eat one again. It's they take all the leftovers that are laying on the floor where all the rats are crawling around, and then they put it into a big vat and grind it up real fine, and then put it through make hot dogs out of it. Yup. It was great growing up. It's just kind of a mystery to me. Yeah, well, maybe in the UK they don't make bologna there, I suppose, from what I understand here so far. But it was a kind of a staple here. My grandparents, they lived on the farm, and they were in the summer and what have you. They were wheat farmers, and in the winter time, in certain parts of the season, like fall or spring or whatever, they would butcher, and they would butcher for all the surrounding farmers. They would make roasts and butcher for them, and they made like blood sausage and head cheese and bologna and all that. They made all that stuff. I remember chickens. Sometimes before they got those funnels, they put the chicken in the head would, they would chop out so they couldn't run away. But before that, I would always have they would just chop the head of the chicken off, and then I'd have to run and catch the chicken because they would get up and run, just run. I'd have to go find them. All those mystery type meats were good. I didn't too much like the blood sausage, but I loved the sausage they made, and like I said, and the bologna and the steaks. Like we had milk from the cows that you'd have to separate yourself, and it would get cheese out of one side and real thick cream out of the other, and then uh, the milk in another. I don't know if any of you have actually tasted milk that come right from the cow. Like you grab you're milking the cow and then you put it in your mouth. Now that's pure milk. It's like got everything still in it. Way different type of taste. Comment about beef, pork, cat, ant, Mabel, all key ingredients in hot dogs. Yeah, yeah, no kidding. And even the hot dogs here don't taste the same. Like you would like put hot dogs on the grill to grill them if you wanted, a barbecue, or you would boil them and make hot dogs that way. They just don't taste the same. Not much food here tastes the same. And almost everything has, they're hot, spicy hot with, like habanero or jalapeno or anything like that, or, and lime. Like you can buy potato chips here with lime, uh, like a bag of potato chips, or jalapeno potato chips with lime instead. Even their food, all their fast food is all hot. Peanuts, you can't find regular peanuts that don't have jalapeno or lime on them or coated with something. You've Googled it, and an interesting answer. You've Googled the what's in hot dogs. Well, supposedly, so they say. I've never been to a factory where they make hot dogs, but they just keep telling you. People would say, "Oh, if you go to a hot dog factory, you'll never eat a hot dog again because of what's in it." But I actually like the flavor of hot dogs. But I like frankfurters too, like different kinds of sausage. That's good. I like that. That tastes good. And like I said, bologna is probably made the same way as a hot dog. It's all kind of the everything else thrown in together and ground up and like really finely ground and then put into they must have a casing of some sort to put it in. You've Googled it. Interesting answer for what's in hot dogs, probably. Yeah, interesting ingredients. Now I don't know if I don't want to really try tacos with cow eye tacos because I know what that is. But if you were to give it to me and not tell me what's in there, you could just say it's beef or something. Who knows what it tastes like? But if you told me, like this girl told me, what you should have the rojo, and I go there to that. I said, what is a rojo taco? And he said that's the beef eyes. And I thought, oh, we used to use those in school as a in the science class. What do you call them? Cut them up and look to see how eyes were made and how they worked and everything. So that's probably another way I don't like it. And if any of you know what a gopher is, a prairie gopher, um, almost like a well, not quite. Probably they eat different things probably than rats would eat, but they're like a the size of a big rat, smaller tail, but they're like a big chipmunk kind of an animal, a prairie gopher. They dig in a hole. That's where they live in the colonies in the ground. Now those people don't eat those either, but I have tasted gopher stew. Now it tasted good, and but then when you said what it was, well, then I have to think about it. Like, But if you'd have told me beforehand what it is, I probably maybe not have tasted it. It's really weird when you can. I guess if somebody tells you what the food is, like how can I know I won't like it unless I even actually taste it? Like I know for some reason a lot of people eat like sushi. It's just I maybe don't know what's in it completely. There's different kinds of sushis, yes, but for some reason I've never tasted sushi, and for some reason I know I don't like it. Mushrooms was another one. People would say like, "Well, you haven't had mushrooms done like this way, and this way, and this way." And I said, "I've tried actually mushrooms, try in every single way that you could, that people would say. Like you need them nice cooked in butter or garlic butter, or done this way or that way." And to me, um, mushrooms just taste rubbery. I don't care how you cook them; they're just a rubbery texture to me. I guess it's the texture I don't like. Maybe it's the flavor too. They're flavorless unless you do something with them. But cooking a cake in an orange. Well, they have oranges here. Somebody was that it must have been you that were telling me how to cook an egg. Yeah, it was you telling me how to cook a cake in an orange. I mean, they have oranges here. It's the cake mix. I'd have to figure out what kind of cake because they have what do you call that cup of not cup of soup. It's cup of a cake. It's a cake mix that you buy and you put it in a cup just like this. You would put it in a cup and then how do you cook it? I can't remember how you do, but you put it in a mug and it makes a cake, like almost like a pudding cake. I guess maybe I don't know how you would cook it. I think, but because you put hot water in it and mix it up. That's what cooks it. With garlic and lemon. And yes, they can be spongy. Yeah, like I don't know why. I don't like mushrooms. Like even when you go to Tim Hortons, they're called in Canada, they're Tim Hortons, and you get their chili. Their chili has big chunks of mushroom in it. Well, they're in there and I eat them, but I more or less don't chew them very much. I just swallow them because I just don't like the rubbery chewing part. I don't know why. Other than that, and if you go to someone's house and they cook a meal and then they put the smaller the whole mushroom because they're small, I don't know. I just couldn't eat those. Used to be addicted. What's this? I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm all clean now. You must have known that saying that you're if you when you're growing up when you're a kid or something and you said a bad word, your mother would or your parents would put soap in your mouth. That never happened to me, but that's I was thinking when you said that is that how you got addicted to soap? Used to be addicted to soap. If you're addicted to soap and when you got bubbles coming out the other end, you know you've had enough. Enough soap. That would be cool. Yeah. So you don't just have a fart, you have a bubble fart. And then it would float. But it wouldn't smell until it burst. You got your mouth washed out so much with soap I couldn't taste food till I was 13. Oh, really? That's pretty good. Whatever you ate tastes like soapy. Time she getting to be 1:38 here. 1:38, which means I must have been on. Where's my time that I've been on? Oh, up here, hour and 53 minutes. So not that I'm limited to 2 hours. I get more on StreamYard than the other one, EV Mux. But I think at the 2 hour mark, we should call her a day and let you guys get back to doing something constructive with your time. My brothers got punished by soap on their toothbrush when they said bad words. Oh, that's just as bad. Then you brush your teeth. Did they have to brush with that? Ay, ay, ay. Yes. Mr. Danny Staten, he's got several channels out there, guys. I have a couple of them in here, but you should go check him out. He has the one, I don't know what the Danny Staten channel is mostly about, but the other one with the horror and the old time movies and Sasquatch and the howling wolves and stuff. kind of scary stuff, and he walks around in the forest at night sometimes. I'd be filling my pants, let me tell you, in some cases. Because in Alberta there, when the wolves are howling, they sound like they're pretty close, and you don't know if they want to eat you or what. And when we're out geocaching, you're not near a vehicle. You're a little bit of ways away from getting back to safety. And I don't know if they would attack you anyway. They'd probably run away from you, but you were 9 when that happened. And it's 80 degrees out there. Swim today, yes, when it's that warm and nice. And I got to do an edit of video this afternoon too. Get one ready. It's another one I'm working on is the same beach that I flew at before with the Avata drone before, but I mean same area and everything. It's just trying to be. It's almost too consistent with the other ones, but I have the footage and I might as well put it up. And a lot of my videos are coming out with drone footage and not necessarily so much as what it's like to be in Mexico, other than the beach drone flying. I want to do more of, and you have to go so far away in order to see the ruins, like Chichen Itza, Xcaret, Tulum, Coba. All those you have to go at least hour and a half, 2 hours away or more, and then they're all tours, or you have to pay to get into them. And just to do a tour of Chichen Itza, where they have the big pyramid, is like $140, I think, Canadian American. So it's not cheap. And like I said, I have to save up my money in order to go to those things. My movie and TV stuff. Yeah. Daily Dan. There we go. Daily Dan. Let me type that in. Moderator can do that, or I can type that in. Daily. Different than Danny Staten. Same guy, but different channel. So this is Daily Dan's The Good Stuff channel. And that's a link there. So if you like that kind of stuff, even if you don't like it, go over and check out his channel. And might be something there that you like. He does all kinds of things there, like with the old type movies, like wow, Raquel Welch on that movie when she passed away. I went to check out that movie, 1 million years BC, 1 million years BC or whatever it was called, and wow, very very crude by today's standards, of course, because it was in the 50s, 60s or whenever. But I could never watch that whole thing all the way through. It's just the videos, but the actors, I don't know. I don't even know if it was English. They didn't say too much, like grunting and. But I got to watch Raquel Welch on there anyway. Shock Theater on Saturday and classic Memphis wrestling Sundays. Oh, okay, cool. Shock Theater on Saturday. Okay. And Mr. Danny there's got quite a few subscribers. He's doing really well. I just like I don't know if you talk like that on the Daily Dan's one or the Danny Staten channel, but when you say greetings YouTube, I can't even do that voice. Just the voice that you got is cool, amazing. 1 second. There we go. 2 hours. We've been on for 2 hours. Holy smokes. anyways, guys, it's like I said, I took up 2 hours of your time, and it was nice of each and every one of you to pop in, to say hi, and spending the time out of your day to watch my humble live stream. And as usual, if nobody has told you they loved you today, let me be the first. I love each and every one of you unconditionally. And stay cool, be kind, and stay awesome mostly. And become nomadic bandman, or nomadic bandman, become nomadic outlaws. And if you are a nomadic outlaw already, you're already subscribed. But to become a nomadic outlaw, subscribe to Nomadic Bandman. It's totally free. And punch that thumbs up button. That really helps a lot. And thanks for coming in, everyone. And we'll catch you guys probably, hopefully, on the next one. I should be able to pop up again using StreamYard. And EV Mux is out of the question till the end of the month. All right, guys, be cool, stay kind, be awesome. And we'll catch you guys all on the next one. Love yous all.